Seekonk. This is Michelle Garrio, back to you from the Seekonk Public Library at Cable 9. And I am joined today by my colleague in Adult Services librarian Amy Greel. And Amy Greel has a couple of hats, actually, maybe even more than that. We all feel like we do, but Amy actually also manages very exciting and dynamic teen programs that we have at the library. And she's here to share today about one of their new series and also to talk a little bit about this thing called social emotional learning. Seems to be something we hear about a lot in the school systems, and so she's going to tell us about that today.
Yeah, sure. So one of the programs that we've started for after school is the Teen STEAM Drop-In. And when we talk about STEAM, it's science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, which most parents have heard about. It's pretty popular in schools these days. So we have all different activities that kids can do. Some of them are sort of directed activities. For example, I have this wonderful kit, the Snap Circuits, where kids can work on building actual circuits that work. Some of them are totally like preschool toys, but kids love to fidget.
Sure.
So we have these little brain flakes, and kids just pile them up and make all kinds of things. I've been playing with our monkey string, which is a bendable, moldable, again, kind of a fidgety thing that kids can play with. But we also have things like these tiny little art canvases. Kids can just sit down, paint whatever they feel like. And my last one I wanted to show you was, this is always a popular one, the duct tape.
Duct tape, sure.
And I was messing around with it a little bit today, and I made an ornament. Holiday appropriate ornament. So again, it's the kind of thing I can set out some scissors and the duct tape, and kids can decide what it is they want to hang out and do. And sometimes kids just have a snack. They don't want to do anything, but that's fine too. So where social emotional learning comes in is that we have different learning competencies that involve relationships to other people and relationships to ourselves.
And this is all people, not just teens.
All people. This is something that schools work on, and I've been reading that it's very popular right now because the schools feel that during the pandemic, when kids were learning from home, they missed out on social emotional learning.
Like the rest of us.
So now that they're back in schools mostly, schools are kind of doubling down on these activities that bring forth these competencies. So the different areas that we talk about in social emotional learning are relationship skills, social awareness, self-management, which, you know, kids sometimes have a hard time doing, self-awareness, which really goes hand in hand with self-management, responsible decision-making. And those are the core competencies of social emotional learning. So how does that tie in with STEAM? Well, pretty much everything you ever do with children, as long as you're relationship building, involves these areas.
Sure.
But the things that I see as being highlighted in this particular program are particularly responsible decision-making, self-awareness, and self-management. Because when a 6th grader walks into this room with all the toys and wonderful things, after a long day at school, maybe they're hungry, maybe they're cranky, maybe they had a bad day, they need to use self-awareness to say, okay, who am I right now? Which version of me am I? Am I going to be friendly? Am I going to be amenable to the ideas that Miss Amy has put out? Or am I going to be cranky? I'm going to sit in the corner and pout. Or I'm going to bother the other kids. How am I going to respond in this situation? So when they're self-aware, they're able to hopefully use self-management. And that's where facilitators like myself can come in, because we're not a teacher, we're not a parent, we're kind of like a fun aunt or uncle. And we can say, how you feeling? Let's take your temperature here, figure out what's going on with you today. How can you...
Emotional temperature.
Emotional
We're not
temperature.
physically taking pictures.
No. Emotional temperature. And say, how can we figure out how you can join us today in a way that's going to be productive,
Right.
and that everyone can enjoy. And that's where, again, responsible decision making comes in, because we've presented kids with a huge array of different activities that they can try, and they may want to do something someone else is doing. They may want to try something that I'm not sure if it's going to work. And we have to decide, you know, are you going to cooperate with your peer and use the materials together? Or are you going to try something different? Or are you going to slam the door and leave? Like, what decision are you making? And we're trying to make sure they're responsible decisions.
Right,
So.
right. And I think you had a slide here. I keep looking at your little notes here on the table. I know somebody like me, sometimes it helps to see that slide so I can remember all the different parts when we talk about social emotional learning. So decision making, relationship skills, social awareness, self-management, and self-awareness. And this is something that's really going to be activated pretty much wherever you go, but a lot of these activities that you've designed are going to sort of hone in on that. And of course, you know about this whole paradigm, so you can design things and you can make sure that they're being incorporated in some way or other.
Right.
Can we actually step back a little bit, because we're talking about teen programs? Who is this open to?
This is open to middle school and high school students, grades 6 through 12.
Okay.
A lot of times middle schoolers will get permission from their parents to walk over after school, which is great. And sometimes there's just kids hanging out doing something else, and I say, come on in and see what we're doing in the other room.
Right, right.
So I also have a teen advisory board, which helps to plan activities.
And your teen advisory board is made of?
Is made of, again, that same group of students, 6th grade through 12th grade.
So anybody who signs up for it?
They do need to apply.
Okay.
There's a little application process. They need to commit to not missing more than a certain amount of meetings without, you know, letting me know. It's responsible decision making. We're really working on getting kids to take these responsibilities into their own hands, to email me when they can't come, you know, things like that, and start, you know, going on that path to, you know, adulthood.
Sure. Self-management, accountability, all those things that
Absolutely.
we want to see developed in our, our children and in the next generation. So that's great. So the Teen Advisory Board kind of helps to direct all the different activities that you do and programs that you hold at the library.
Right.
So it's the teens themselves.
Yes.
How about when these programs happen?
Sure. So we have Thursday afternoons at 3, reserved most weeks during the month, though this month is crazy with Thanksgiving, and then we have, you know, Christmas next
holiday
month,
season,
and a lot of things going on. So you do need to check our website. If you go to the teen section of cconkpl.org, everything is on there. It's also on our event calendar if you're familiar with that, so people can find out more about it. Most of our programs, I will say, you do have to register for, just so I can make sure I have enough to go around of whatever it is we're doing. Next month we're decorating cookies. I need to make sure I have enough cookies. This program that we've been talking about, the Teen STEAM, it's a drop-in. So I wanted to keep it a little more casual because of the nature of the program. And it's generally the third Thursday of the month. So we'll be having it, well, when we're recording this, we'll have it tomorrow. And then there's a little gap between sessions just because of the holiday season.
Okay.
So again, check our website to see when it's coming up next.
Great. So you know that Thursdays, and usually the third Thursday, is when you can maybe encourage some of your science and technology fans especially, but your arts and math people as well to check out these programs at the library. So when you have the STEAM programs, is it always sort of a choose your own activity, or do you sometimes hone in on one activity?
Right, exactly. So everything is on a cart that I wheel in. I call it the curiosity cart.
Okay.
Kids can pick what they want, but I will have, like, again, very casual program kind of in the wings. If kids really are like not sure what they want to do.
Right, and they want a little direction or something kind of already set up.
So for example, I might have the
Duct tape?
instructions and the pieces that they need to do, like a duct tape project. If they do it, that's great. If they don't do it, that's fine. Just put it back in the box for next time.
Okay.
So a couple months ago, we did a lot with these little canvases and just took out the paint, and kids just, and it was organic. But I had kind of like put it there on the table a little separate from the other things, and then the kids were like, "Ooh, what's this all about?" So yeah, it's a little guided.
Right. That's great. So this is something that's dynamic. There's always new elements that could be added. You never know what's going to show up on
That's
that
right.
curiosity card.
That's right.
It's like shopping at some of our department stores. I won't give any names, but you know, always something new. So that's great. Thank you so much. And I just really appreciate that there's always something new happening, and definitely always something that our teens can get proactively involved in with the programs that you offer. And I know just looking at these things, I want to touch and fidget too. You talk about them being just for kids, but I know I find in my household when there's a toy, kind of everybody gets involved, and we can kind of have an opportunity to do some learning together. So this is great. Actually, the Snap Circuits reminds me a little bit of something we might have in our Library of Things. I think we do have something.
We have a couple of STEAM activities that are in the Library of Things now.
Which is great. So that's something that, again, maybe an interest gets started in a program like this, and then you can go to our library website and you can actually check out one of our kits that would further encourage, again, some of the science and technology and curiosity in general in our younger generation. So this is great. So we have some things here we can play with.
Yeah, we do. You can just kind of roll those up in a ball, bend them
So-
around. These are the monkey string.
Monkey string. Nice.
And I find that giving kids a fidget, if they're new, if they don't know me, if they're with a different peer group than usual, it just kind of calms everybody down. They can talk without interacting. They can do whatever they're doing, but they can chat with you a little bit. And it just kind of opens the door to a relationship when kids don't feel like they're on the spot and have to perform, maybe, especially again after a long day at school. You know, a kid might just want to build with the brain flakes. And then maybe little bits of their life come out as they're doing that, and I can get to know them a little bit better.
Right, and those sorts of relationship building skills that you talked about. And one of the things I love, particularly with this one, is that we think of STEAM, we think of technology and technology taking over our world, but it's not always technology. I love that this is quiet, there's no batteries. This is fantastic. So you can do things that are not just going to be more screen time in effect when
Right.
you participate in these programs.
Yep. We have some math activities. We have a great game called Trionymos. That's like dominoes.
I remember
but they're
Trionymos.
triangles,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
sides have to add up. So it's kind of like a strategy game, and it builds math skills without kids really noticing you're building math skills.
Right, and not that pressure of the grades and
Absolutely.
whatever else is going to
So
happen.
a kid who maybe thinks they don't like math because of they don't like classroom math or they don't like homework math, when they're playing a game like that, they might go, "Oh,
I like the game."
I like this kind of math."
Right. Excellent. Well, I think I'm probably going to have to put that down because it is so much fun to play with. Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you so much for
welcome.
bringing this in and sharing with us. So these materials are available on the Curiosity Cart during the STEAM programming time, typically one Thursday a month.
Yes.
At 3 o'clock. So we hope to see a lot of your kids there. And if they share something with you and you get really excited about it, you let us know because she's in adult services too. So maybe we can do something for the
That's
adults.
right, absolutely.
We often do take advantage of all those wonderful skills that you have in that way. So thank you so much. And of course, I mentioned the Library of Things items that you can check out. Actually, that picture of the brain made me think a little bit about some brain stimulation for adults with Brain HQ. So there's things that we can offer for adults too. And of course, anytime you have any questions about this program or more, I hope that you will give us a call or stop by the library. We'd love to see you there. All right, thanks so much for coming, Amy.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Cable 9.